kitchen. Bienvenidos. Today I have a very special guest who is bringing us a recipe for a very special dish. Joining me today is our friend and Diabetes Everyday contributor, Paola Seguil. Welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me. Thank you.
Thanks for coming. So, tell us about this secret family recipe that you brought to us today.
Okay, so this is a ceviche recipe from Peru. It was passed down from my grandmother to my mother and now to me, and now I'm sharing it with everyone today.
Very nice, thank you. And you know what I'm noticing? I, being American, said ceviche, but I saw that the correct pronunciation is
Ceviche.
ceviche.
Yeah.
Okay. Note to self. I'll try and remember that throughout today. And so with this dish, your mom has made this as a family recipe.
Oh yeah.
And so when do you usually eat this dish?
So ceviche is it's a dish from the coastal region, from Lima mainly, which is where I'm from. And they usually eat it when they go to the beach. You know, it's nothing special occasion. They just eat it all the time. It's such a great dish. And people usually eat it, you know, anyone who loves fish will go eat it when they go to the sea, and will order it at the restaurants. And
It's so, you mentioned beach, and that was stuck in my mind because I'm thinking about that it's a coastal dish. So a lot of the countries that have that ocean front are making this dish. So today's dish is from Peru.
Yes.
Right? And so what are the differences from other countries that make this dish?
yeah, so ceviche, you can find all kinds of ceviches everywhere, all Latin America. I mean, you can find it in different countries. But everyone has their own variation. I mean, people can add different kinds of fish, you know, depending what is available. People can add shellfish like shrimp or octopus. And then within the different ingredients they can add, sometimes they add tomatoes, different kinds of onions, sometimes they add even mango, you know, you can find a variation. So this is just a simple version of the Peruvian kind.
Wow, very neat. And so this is one dish we're going to make today, but you can see there's a lot of variety that we can add later on. So let's get to it. Our ingredients are
1 pound of salmon, 1 pound of tilapia. In Peru, they typically use corvina or cojinova or toyo, which are whitefish, but today we're going to use tilapia and salmon. 3 garlic cloves, 1 medium red onion, half a cup of lime juice, half a cup of lemon juice, 1/4 cup of orange juice, 3 celery stalks, half a cup of cilantro, half a cup of parsley, salt and pepper. And the hot peppers are optional. Today we have serrano, but you can use jalapeno. And in Peru, we use a hot pepper called rocoto. First, cut fish into thin slices and place in a glass dish. Top the fish with minced garlic, salt and pepper to taste. Next, we're going to cut celery into thin slices and place on top of the fish. Then, cover the fish with the citrus juice. Make sure the fish is completely covered. Now we refrigerate the dish for at least 1 hour.
Now, a word of caution about this dish. The acidity of the citrus will cold cook the fish, but eating raw foods of any kind has certain risks. With ceviche or sushi, freshness is important, of course, but we are using fish we have held frozen for a week at temperatures below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Hard freezing greatly reduces the risk of parasites, but you need to evaluate the risk yourself. Okay, our ceviche has been marinating for an hour in the refrigerator, and now we want to add some additional ingredients. So first we're going to start out with the thinly sliced onions. And you said in your recipe specifically thinly sliced onions, so why was that?
So you want to make sure your onions are thin, so that way you can spread it all over and get it in the juice. And that way people don't want a big chunk of onion in their bite of ceviche. So it's important to make sure they're thinly cut. So we're going to add that on there.
Okay, that makes a whole lot of sense. And you know what else? I remember when you first sent me this recipe, you were saying that your mom often puts the onions in salty water before.
Yeah, she washes the onions with salt and water. She says it gets, it makes sure that the flavor, that the onion is not so strong.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's a matter of preference, depending on your opinion. And I've done the recipe without washing them with salt and water, and it tastes great.
Okay,
So.
good. Well, we didn't add salty water to this recipe because I'm so concerned. People with diabetes, we really need to cut down on our sodium intake. So this is one little sneaky way that we can cut out the salt.
Yes.
And we're going to talk a lot, I know, about the different herbs that we're using here that really boost the flavor so that you don't need the salty flavor with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so next we have 2 more ingredients that we're going to add right now.
This is a cilantro that we're going to add. Just spread it up on top.
Okay. And for anybody that's had a nice whiff of cilantro, it smells so good. It's like just so refreshing.
And next we're going to add parsley.
Another refreshing.
Yep.
I always think spring when I
Yes.
smell parsley.
And the mixture is so great together. Okay, we're just going to spread that up on top.
It's also adding nice color
Yes.
to it too. And then we have one more ingredient, but you said that we should probably, suggestion from your mom is to hold off?
Well, it depends on your preference and what you like. My family, my dad, does not like hot, spicy foods, but if you're into the spiciness, of course, add the peppers. And you can add, here we have serrano peppers, but you can add jalapeno peppers, for example. In Peru, we use this pepper that's found in Peru. It's a hot pepper called rocoto. But if you can't find it, again, you can use the serrano or the jalapeno. So you can spread that on top here. My mom also, for those that don't like peppers, she'll add it at the very end on top just for decoration, and that way people can pick it off if they don't like it. But we'll add it here for some extra spice.
And adding more green. I love the color green.
And now my mom, she wants to make sure that the onion and the cilantro and the parsley, they're soaked in the juice.
Mm-hmm.
So you can use a spoon and smush it in there, or my mom, she likes to use her fingers. You can just make sure it's kind of immersed in the liquid underneath. So I'll use my mom's technique.
Yeah.
She says you can push it in there with your fingers. So, like so.
Well, now we're going to put this back in the refrigerator for at least 1 more hour of marinating, and we're going to check back with you soon, so don't go away. Our ceviche is all finished, and we can see how the appearance and texture of the fish has changed. So Paola, how's the best way to serve this?
So typically we serve the ceviche with on a piece of lettuce, a big large leaf of lettuce, and then we usually serve it with something like sweet potatoes or potatoes, and then we also serve it with corn on the cob. And in Peru, the corn is called choclo.
Okay.
And there's varieties of corn.
Is it made any certain way, like chili powder or any kind of
Oh
spices
no, it's
on
just
it?
boiled.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how we serve it.
Okay.
We served it today with tomatoes and sweet potato.
Okay, well, this looks great. Let's talk about the nutrition facts before we get into tasting this. This recipe makes 6 servings, so it's great for a holiday or when you're having guests over. Each serving is 200 calories, 31 grams of protein, 7.5 grams of carbohydrate, and less than 5 grams of total fat, 500 milligrams of sodium. So I want to thank you so much for coming into my kitchen and making up this dish. And I know that you had said that this isn't really a special dish. You guys just eat it at the beach.
Yeah.
But to us, this is very special. So why don't I serve some up?
All right.
And we could take a little taste of this as we end this very special diabetes every day. Thanks for watching. I love the citrusy flavor to it.